Hello children, I welcome you all once again to your English class. I hope you all are doing fine. Children, for today's English lesson, we are going to continue with the ninth chapter from your Alien Handbook, and this chapter is A Tiger in the Zoo. Children, in our previous video lesson, we have started this chapter and we had completed most of the stanzas, most of the explanation of the text also. We had seen that there was this tiger cub Timothy which was discovered by grandfather, that means the narrator's grandfather, in the Terai jungle. Okay, one day he was going with the hunting party and he noticed a little tiger hiding under a banyan tree. He brought it home. Yes. Now, at first, the cub was brought up only on milk, but later on, because you see that it is not like a human baby, right? It's an animal baby, so it could not digest it. So it was given a diet of meat, pigeons, and rabbits. All the non-veg things they could give him. So Timothy had two companions in the house, Toto the monkey and a puppy, we know, who was mischievous. It pulled the cub's tail. Timothy was at first quite afraid of the puppy, we know this also, but then we saw that it was quite comfortable with it. Now it soon grew up to the size of a hunting dog. People on the road kept a safe distance from him. Obviously, it's a tiger cub. Even if you pet it, other people will be scared of it. Yes. So now it was growing. Timothy was growing, and it became less friendly and rather dangerous. The cook with which it shared the room, that means whom Mahmoud, the life risk was increasing on him. Okay, because of the tendency of the tiger cub to actually hunt or prey on like blood, right? And meat. It started now. Grandmother declared that one day it would kill the cook Mahmoud. So it started going after a cat or a pet dog. It had to be changed up more often. So now, this grandfather decided it was time to transfer it to the zoo at Lucknow. So he booked a compartment for only himself and the cub and the tiger. Okay, that means so obviously he won't put any human lives to danger, right? Any human life to danger. So he booked only compartment to himself and for the tiger. He made straight for the cage. Now, after they gave it to the Lucknow Zoo. After 6 months almost, we see that he went to Lucknow to meet his relatives, and then he thought of seeing whom? Of seeing Timothy. So he visited the cage where he was kept, and in our previous video lesson, we had learned till here only that he went to the cage, straight to the cage where Timothy was kept, and he wanted to meet Timothy. So we are going to start from the last paragraph where we ended, okay, so that you have a connection with the story. Hello, Timothy, said grandfather and put his arm through the bars of the cage. The tiger approached the bars and allowed grandfather to put both hands around his head. Grandfather stroked the tiger's head and tickled his ears, and whenever he growled, smacked him across the mouth, which was his old way of keeping him quiet. So we know that he met the lion, he met the tiger, and then he made the tiger, sorry. So now obviously it was a pet to him, so he tried to calm him down when it growled by smacking over his mouth. Smacking is usually slapping. Yes. Now see here again, let's start reading the text. Now we will go through the other parts of the text, the next parts. Now he licked grandfather's hands and only sprang away when a leopard in the next cage snarled at him. So what did it started doing? It started licking the grandfather's hand. And now it was a leopard which was kept beside the cage of this tiger. So it was scared of that leopard. Okay. Now this leopard snarled. Snarled means what? Snarled means growled. Okay. It was growling. And Grandfather shooed the leopard away and Tiger returned to lick his hands. But every now and then the leopard would rush at the bars and he would slink back to the corner. So whenever the leopard stopped growling, actually it was shooed away. Shooed means for children, it was uh, driven away by grandfather by saying shoo shoo. You must have heard this, right? Like when you want any animals or some living organism, like a living thing, to move, so you shoo it away, so you drive it away. Now, so it came back again to lick the hands of the grandfather. But okay, now here a number of people had gathered to watch the reunion when a keeper pushed his way through the crowd. So this thing, like tiger licking a man's hand, was a rare thing to watch. Yes. So what was the crowd all about? The crowd wanted to see the tiger and this man. So like such a daredevil he was, that he was allowing a tiger to lick his hand. So everyone wanted to see it. So this keeper came to him. Okay, now the keeper of the zoo made his way towards this cage and he wanted to see what was all this crowd for. Okay, now grandfather and asked grandfather what he was doing. So it was a normal question. It was a natural question, that what was he doing, because this thing was risky, it was dangerous. I am talking to Timothy, said grandfather. Weren't you here when I gave him to the zoo 6 months ago? So he said that I'm talking to my pet, I'm talking to this tiger, Timothy. He inquired that weren't you here? Weren't you at this place when I came and gave my Timothy, my tiger cub, to this to this zoo? Okay. Now, I haven't been here very long, said the surprised keeper. So the keeper said, no, I wasn't there. I'm a newcomer here. I have just come. Now, please continue your conversation, but I have never been able to touch him myself. So what did the keeper say? That whatever you are doing, because this tiger doesn't allow anyone to touch him, he's allowing you to touch him. You can continue your conversation, you can keep on talking with this tiger. Okay, now see, but I have never been able to touch him myself, as he is always very bad tempered. He said he's always in bad mood, he's always angry, he's always pissed off. So I have not been able to touch him myself. Why don't you put him somewhere else? He said, the grandfather said that you now must put him in some other cage. Okay, you should take him away from this cage. Now why? Let's see why he suggested this. Suggested grandfather that leopards keep frightening him. So yes, this was the constant thing. It was leaping away from the cage when the leopard in the cage beside this cage was snarling, was growling. So the grandfather suggested that you must put him in what? In some other cage. Yes, I will go and see the superintendent about it. So he said, I will go and see the superintendent about it. Means actually the person who is in charge of the whole zoo. He is going to meet that person. Okay, now let's see what happens next. Grandfather went in search of the superintendent of the zoo, but found that he had gone home early. So he could not find the superintendent. And what did he say? He said that he had gone home early. Now, and so after wandering about the zoo for a little while, he returned to Timothy's cage to say goodbye. It was beginning to get dark. It was night now. It was almost dark. So now he thought that he should now go back, because it was means the night was approaching. So it wouldn't be so nice to stay for that long. He had been stroking and slapping Timothy for about 5 minutes when he found another keeper observing him with some alarm. So there was this alert, okay, this fear and anxiety was there in a keeper, okay. There was this keeper who was very much Who was very much, you can see he was very much fearful, very much frightened to see that this man was slapping that tiger in the cage. Yes. Grandfather recognized him as the keeper who had been there when Timothy had first come to the zoo. So, what did he say? What did recognize, realize? He identified the man, okay, who was there as a keeper when he first came to give away Timothy. Okay, so he went. You remember me? Said grandfather. Now, why don't you transfer Timothy to another cage away from this stupid leopard? Now, you should do what? You should transfer Timothy to some other cage. Again, he suggested him also the same thing, that you must take this uh, Timothy, this tiger, away from this leopard. Now, but sir, stammered the keeper, it is not your tiger. Okay, he said, this is not your tiger. Timothy is no longer here. He said, he is not your tiger. This tiger is not yours. You did not give it. I know, said grandfather. I realize he is no longer mine. So he said, yes, I know, I have given this to you. Now it belongs to you. So I cannot call it my own. But okay, but you might at least take a suggestion or two from me. So at least you can take suggestion and take this tiger away from this leopard. Okay, I remember your tiger very well, said the tiger. Said the keeper. He said, now see, I remember your tiger. The tiger you gave us was Timothy, and this is not your tiger. Your tiger died 2 months ago. Died? Exclaimed grandfather. Yes, sir, of pneumonia. He said, yes, sir, it died of what? Of pneumonia. This tiger was trapped in the hills only last month and he is very dangerous. So he's not at all friendly like your tiger. It isn't Timothy. So this tiger we have only rescued. We have found this tiger in the hills in the last month and it is very dangerous. Grandfather could think of nothing to say because you know what he was doing. He was giving what? He gave his hand to the tiger to lick and he had slapped it so many times. Okay, now the tiger was still licking his arm with increasing relish. Okay, so here relish means was taste. He was growing fond of this taste of the hand, and obviously it has found somewhat, children. It has found some meat, so it can attack anytime soon. Now grandfather took what it seemed to him an age to withdraw his hand from the cage. So with all his strength, he did what? He took the chance to withdraw his hand from the animal. He just took away his hand and pull it out from the cage, inside the cage. With his face near the tigers, he mumbled. Now, what did he say? Good night, Timothy. He now knew that it was not its tiger, but to sound friendly, and he was so much so much fearful, so much frightened, so much scared that he could think of nothing else. He did not want to make the tiger think that he knows that he is not his tiger. Yes, and giving the keeper a scornful look, walked briskly out of the zoo. So what do we see? We see that he gave contempt kind of look. Yes, contemptuous look to the what? To the zookeeper. And then he walked briskly out of the zoo. Briskly means what, children? Means quickly. Okay. Now, children, see, we are done with the explanation of the text. We have finished it. Now we can move ahead with writing of the meanings from this text, from the chapter. And I think you know what the narrator wanted to say and what the narrator meant to narrate, means tell you the story, why he wanted to share it, because this was what, a different approach to some tiger, and how the tiger which was wild, and how the grandfather made a narrow escape, how he saved himself from this tiger. Yes, now children, let's move ahead with the word meanings from the chapter. Okay, some words are there which you should know the meanings of, and if you write it you may memorize it as well. You can use it in some other context. So let's get started. Number one, first word, Strolling. It means walking. Number 2, intricate. Having complication. Number 3, distinction. Difference. Number 4, bagged. Found. Number 5, tempting. Attractive. Number 6, lost his temper. Got angry. Number 7, darted. Rushed. Number 8, ridiculously. Absurd or funny. Number 9, crouching. Sitting on its haunches. Number 10, creep. Come. Yes, number 11, reclining. Line. Number 12, crafty. Cunning. Number 13, stalk. Follow. Number 14, snarling. Growling. Number 15, prophetic. Foretelling. Foretelling, okay? Now 16, smacked. Slapped. Number 17, frenzied. wild. Number 18. Suggested. Make a proposal. Proposal. Yes, children. So please write this down quickly. We have some more words left that we are going to do in the next video lesson. Okay, children, for today we are going to end our video lesson here only. We will meet again in our next video lesson. Till then, please take care of yourself and your family. Bye-bye.